No, I am the one who...
So have you ever wanted to be a wizard that can bonk things pretty darn effectively with your staff? Well, this is the build for you. It's kind of just your run-of-the-mill abjuration tank that takes a pretty kind of out there feat for a wizard to make use of its staff in a little bit more offensive of a way than you would normally think. So if you guys do end up enjoying this build, I would very much appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe. I'm going to keep these build videos going. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and just say I have seen this build floated around on YouTube, but I just look around on like Reddit build forums and just stuff like that. And just it's not my intention to like take anyone's build video. I did just see like as I was editing this footage that, you know, this build has, you know, been something that other people have posted. So it's not like I'm just out here yoinking content from YouTubers. That's gross. I wouldn't do that. I found some Reddit threads and stuff like that. So, hey, what if you were an Abjuration Wizard with Polar Master and, you know, people walk near you and then you keep them near you? And it's basically like a level 20 build that would also have Sentinel that would, you know, make this build like really go online, but you can only do so much in BG3, so that's what we went with, and it works out pretty darn well. But like I said, it is just your kind of standard abjuration tank wizard with a couple levels of sorcerer to get constitution saving throw proficiency, as well as the armor of Agatha's spell, and it also gives you quite a bit better AC. So overall, this is a pretty fun build that is just kind of a slightly different take on a class that is kind of solved, I guess. Not really. I mean, this is a build that's definitely solved. This is a build that's been around forever, the abjuration tank, but it's always fun when you can just take a little something, tweak it, and make it a little bit different. And you also just get a ton of cold damage out of this build. It's pretty fun. Can you guys tell I edited the combat footage and I have to fill a certain amount of time before I can, you know, just leave? But I think we're pretty much to that point. So if you guys do enjoy it, let's go ahead and hop into the build. Thank you guys for watching. Let's do the darn thing. God, I suck at this. Oops, I lied. One more thing before we get into the build video. I'm uploading a Hogwarts Legacy playthrough on the channel currently, so if you guys want to check that out, I'd very much appreciate it. I know it won't do nearly as well as my Baldur's Gate 3 stuff, but if just a few of you guys would check it out, that'd mean the world to me. I don't want this channel to be just a one game sort of thing where I'm locked into only making Baldur's Gate 3 content. Like I said, I know it's won't do nearly as well, but yeah, if a few of you check it out, that would mean a lot to me. It'd be pretty cool. I've never wanted to just like be a one game channel. That's kind of what my main channel is at this point, and I kind of hate it. I want to be able to upload other stuff, so yeah, plan on doing a lot of random let's plays. We're doing Hogwarts Legacy right now, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, let's shut up, JB. Let's get into the build. That's why people are here. Let's do that now. All right, getting into the build, we are going to be using Gale as our example character here today because he is, of course, the wizard of the party and the main caster. But if you want to use this as a custom character with the level scheme I'm going to be showing off here, I would recommend taking a race that gives you proficiency with shields, that being human or half elf, and maybe something else. Probably, I don't know. Just make sure you have something that gives you shield proficiency with the level scheme I'm showing. There is a multi-class option to get it regardless, but I decided to go a different route with my leveling scheme because I thought, like, well, I can get a little bit more out of one of our classes instead of taking two classes, so I thought it was just way better to go that route. So let's get things started off with actually, believe it or not, a sorcerer level. This gives us a couple of things, mainly constitution saving throw proficiency, as well as something very nice from our subclass, which is going to, of course, be Draconic Bloodline, which also gives you some pretty nice goodies. When you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 13, so it ups your armor class a little bit. I'm not sure if that's actually going to help this character or not. We'll see. I remember we had a base 19 AC with all of our gear and stuff before this, so we'll see if it actually changes anything. But the main thing we want for our dragon ancestry is this is, of course, going to be an abjuration wizard. We want to go ahead and take white draconic ancestry to get armor of Agathis. You can also get this from warlock levels if you don't want to play sorcerer for some reason, but a con save proficiency is very worth it. And then, you know, the spell is incredibly busted on abjuration wizards, so you're going to want to take it some way. Just make sure you get it on your build somehow. Unfortunately, there are no scrolls of it. Otherwise, you could just take 12 straight levels of wizard and be even more broken, but unfortunately, that is not allowed in this here video game. And then we're just going to have no scales because he's Gale. He doesn't need scales, but if you want to, do your thing. For your cantrips, make sure you take stuff that doesn't require an attack roll because we're not going to have great charisma on this build. So Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, Blade Ward, Light all make perfect sense. You can grab Friends here. You can grab True Strike to annoy people if you want. Dancing Lights, whatever you want, but I think this is a perfectly fine loadout. We're going to get most of our damage cantrips, of course, from our wizard levels. And then for your spells at this level, you can grab Utility. Again, you're going to be a wizard, so you're going to have all the spells pretty much, so just take whatever you want to get you through the early game. For the purposes of a level 12 character, though, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Enhanced Sleep and Featherfall. I don't know. Is there actually anything here that we can't get from a wizard scroll? I don't think so. I mean, we'll be able to get shield from our wizard levels, so yeah, just take whatever you want to get you through the early game. This is a level 12 character, so I'm just going to take whatever. It doesn't matter. But if you're playing through the game early, I'd probably just take shield and magic missile. But we don't have to worry about that. All right, as for your abilities, you are going to go with 17 intelligence. I'm going to recommend this be your Ethel's Hair character for your playthrough if you're taking it, just so you can, you're only going to get 2 ability score improvements on this character. And you're going to want to get up to 20 intelligence. So being able to save an ASI and just give this character Ethel's Hair is probably worth it. This doesn't even have to be your main character to necessarily take Ethel's Hair. It's just, you know, a good character for it. And then as a wizard, you're going to want high con as well. We'll go 16 there. And then we'll put the rest into our dexterity. And then our last 2 points can go wherever you want. I'm probably going to go with wisdom just so we get a neutral roll there. We don't need charisma, like I said. It's just for the, you know, early game. And just for, we're just here for the Dragon Ancestry. But that's not going to stop us from potentially taking another level in Sorcerer as we get into the thing. Come on. So I did say that we were pretty much only taking sorcerer levels for Draconic Ancestry, but there is something to say for taking a second level here just to get access to meta magic, specifically Twin Spell. Being able to throw that off every now and then could be nice. You're not really going to be able to use it too well to like twin cast haste or anything because you're not going to have enough sorcery points, although you could create more sorcery points. So you could, you know, twin cast haste if you need to. So it's probably worth taking it. But if you're not playing a race that gives you shield proficiency, you probably want to take a level of Druid, which will give you shield proficiency. And then you could also get the Shillelagh cantrip. I've found a way to work around not needing the Shillelagh cantrip with this build. It's, spoiler alert, just fucking potions. But, you know, if you don't want to worry about that and get higher wisdom, you can certainly take a level of Druid and get Shillelagh. But also worth noting is you can take a level of Cleric, which will also get you shield proficiency depending on your subclass. I'm pretty sure all clerics get shield proficiency though, and if you still want Shillelagh, you can get it through Nature Domain, or you can get like heavy armor proficiency, or you can get like Tempest Domain for the Wrath of the Storm if you want. So yeah, pick your favorite there. But I think the best thing to do is probably to just take a second level of sorcerer for your meta magics. Like I said, you can just create more sorcery points using your spell slots to you know, get enough sorcery points to twin cast haste or whatever. So that's probably what I would recommend. And then for your spell at this level, pick something that you don't need. Whatever, disguise self, doesn't matter. And then for your meta magic, go twin spell, and then you can go distant, extended. Honestly, there's something to be said for careful spell here as well. Allies automatically succeed saving throws against spells that require them. That's probably actually the best, since you're not going to be an evocation wizard and you're going to want to throw big AoE spells a lot. You might catch your allies in them, so it might be worth grabbing that. Extended spell is also pretty good, but let's go careful spell. I don't see that used too often. Right now that we have gotten our 2 levels in Sorcerer, let's jump straight back into Wizard for the rest of our levels. Obviously, Wizard will get you a lot of goodies, mainly just all of the spells. Just all of them. For your learn spells at this level, you're going to want to grab Ray of Frost, just the best combat cantrip. We're also going to grab Booming Blade with this build, believe it or not. It is the One Who Bonks. I'm sure you guys could probably get that from the combat footage and the intro, but yeah, you're going to want Booming Blade on this build because we are going to be bonking. And then for your other one, pick your favorite. I quite like Bone Chill, so we'll grab that. And then for your learn spells at this level, go ahead, grab your magic missile, grab your shield, grab your damage spells, grab whatever the heck you darn well please. You are a wizard, you will have all of these. Although, special note to Longstrider, there aren't scrolls of this, so you probably want to pick that up if no one else in your party has it. And let's just go with Thunderwave because it's Thunderwave and it's fun. At Wizard 2, we get our subclass, which for this character will be Abjuration. You twist and harden the weave into arcane wards to protect yourself and others. Learning Abjuration spells from scrolls only costs you 25 gold per spell slot instead of 50. So what this gives you is Arcane Ward. Residual magic from your spells form a ward around you that protects you from harm. It's basically a bubble. Whenever you cast an Abjuration spell, you'll get a stack of this, and every amount of damage you take will lower that stack by that amount. So like say you take 5 damage, you'll lower your stacks by 5, but you can get up to 20. It's very good. It's a great way to just mitigate a ton of damage and turns the wizard into basically an unkillable tank. It's very fun. For your spells at this level, you know the drill at this point. Pick whatever you darn well please. Let's grab Find Familiar because we're a wizard, and let's grab Grease because it's funny. Wizard 3, we gain level 2 spells. Some of the better ones including, of course, Misty Step. Mirror Image is always going to be great, but you're going to want to pay special attention to grab Abjuration spells so you can, of course, get your Abjuration stacks. Knock is not a good one. Arcane Lock is the one you're going to want to grab. You can just use this on inanimate objects or just random doors or chests to just build up your Arcane Ward stacks quite nicely, so that's one worth grabbing. Worth noting that Armor of Agathis is also an Abjuration spell, so that's why this stack is so good. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, you know, there you go. For your cantrips, there aren't any Abjuration cantrips, I don't believe. Yeah, I don't think so. No, those are not. So just pick your favorite here. Shocking Grasp is quite good. Firebolt is quite good. We'll just go ahead and grab Firebolt for the damage. And then for this other spell, Blur is going to be pretty decent. A lot of daggers is good AoE, but this is just going to be a pick your favorite situation. If there's any good, I don't think there are any other good Abjuration spells at this level, but just make sure you know, look through and find any. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got them all. This could be a Shadow Blade build if you want to early as well, so worth noting if you want to use that. We'll just go ahead and grab Cloud of Daggers for the AoE, and we'll grab Blur for a nice concentration, I suppose. For a nice non-combat concentration, I guess. And then for your feat at this level, go ahead, take an ability improvement, and up your intelligence to 19. You probably already have Ethel's Hair by this point, so this should be a 20. And then you don't have to worry about that later. Wizard 5, we finally get our level 3 spells. Haste is going to be a big one you're going to want to pick up because it's Broken, and then Counterspell is also quite good. It's also an Abjuration spell, but you can't really use it out of combat to stack anything, but it is also just one of the best spells in the game, and there's no scrolls of it, so make sure you pick it up. Glyph of Warding is another great spell to have at this level, so make sure you find a scroll for that. Lightning Bolt's great damage, of course. Fireball's great damage, of course, so yeah, pick your favorites here. Remove Curse is another Abjuration option. Protection from Energy is a really good Abjuration option. It is a concentration that will last you all day, so until you lose concentration, that is, but it's a good spell to have for sure. And yeah, there's probably some others in here. Doesn't look like it actually, but yeah, there's some good options for you in there. There are scrolls for Remove Curse, so there you go. Wizard level 6, we get our subclass feature, which is going to be Projected Ward. When a nearby ally takes damage and you have an active arcane ward, you can sacrifice the ward to reduce the damage they take. So it's basically just, hey, here's the shield for you. Here's your little bubble. It's basically just a way to protect your friends from taking small chunks of damage. And at this level, if you don't already have Glyph of Warding, go ahead and grab it here. And we'll grab Fireball because we're a wizard and we like fireballs. Wizard level 7. We get our new spells at level 4, which, let's see if we got any good Abjuration options. I don't think there are at level 4. There is Stone Skin, but Stone Skin's pretty terrible, so you probably don't need to worry about taking that. Necromancy Enchantment, yeah, so this is just the pick your favorite level. Fire Shield is great. It's good synergy with this build. Unfortunately, it's not an Abjuration spell, but it is great synergy with this build. You already have Armor Bag. This is going to be one of your main features of your class, so go ahead and grab Fire Shield to pair with it. And Ice Storm can be quite good. Wall of Fire is my favorite spell in the game, so we'll grab Wall of Fire, but Ice Storm is also great. Again, Wizard, Scrolls, you get the idea. At Wizard level 8, we get our second and final feat of the build, as well as 2 more spells. We'll grab Ice Storm, and we'll grab Conjure Mana Elemental because it's fun to have summons. Your feat at this level, believe it or not, is actually going to be Pole Arm Master, which does work with quarterstaffs. It's pretty fun. Just whenever someone gets near your wizard, you just bonk them. And the idea is of this build is just to be the one who bonks. And yeah, when attacking with a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use a bonus action to attack with the butt of your weapon. You also make an opportunity attack when a target comes within range. So if someone comes near you, bonk, you're just getting hit with a good chunk of damage, and now you're just in front of me, and you're going to take a shit ton of retaliation damage from all of our goodies. So have fun standing next to this wizard. You might think that's where you want to be in battle, but no, this is the last wizard you want to stand next to. So yeah, we'll take our Polar Master here. And then with our 9th level in Wizard, we get level 5 spells. Cone of Cold going to be a good one to get. Conjure Elemental for, of course, upcasting at level 6, because we will have level 6 spells here, will be great. I don't think there are any Abjuration. Is this Abjuration? There is. Planar Binding is Abjuration, but you probably have plenty of ways of stacking it by this point. So go ahead, grab yourself a Cone of Cold, grab yourself a Conjure Elemental, or whatever else you darn well please. You are a wizard after all. See, I did it again. I can't help myself. And then finally at wizard level 10, we get our final subclass feature, that being improved abjuration. Each time you take a short rest, the intensity of your arcane ward increases by amount equal to your wizard level. So whenever you short rest, you just get 10 stacks of arcane ward, which is just going to be very good. You get another cantrip at this level. Pick your favorites. Shocking Grasp will be quite good, I guess. You don't have Warcaster on this build, unfortunately. This would be just a even more broken build if you use feats at even levels to just completely break the game, so you can get stuff like Warcaster and Sentinel and just, oh my god, I don't even want to think about what you can do with even more feats on this build. Like if this is like a level 20 character, oh boy, like actual tabletop, my god. That being said, we get 2 more spells at this level, and again PYF, we'll go ahead and grab Hold Monster, and we'll grab Banishment because it's funny. But of course, like I said, Wizard, Scrolls, you'll have level 6 spells. You'll have all the spells in the game. I can't help myself. It's too fun. So what you're getting out of this is a Wizard that deals a shit ton of retaliation damage that never wants to, not be in the fight, which is crazy. It's a frontline tanking, please hit me Wizard, which is just cool. But we can always make it better with items, so let's go ahead and talk about them. All right, for your items, also worth noting that the thing with Draconic Sorcerer did up our AC by 2, which is just pretty darn cool. We have a 21 AC. I love wizards with high AC. It's not meant to be, but sometimes it is just meant to be. What the fuck is that? That is Wall of Ice. It just looks weird. I never see that spell. That being said, here are the items. For the hat, I went with the Hat of the Sharpcaster. We're going to roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for a spell attack. That die is re-rolled once. You'll be making a decent bit of spell attacks with this build, but if you want to swap it out for something like the Cold Brim Hat for more Encrusted with Frost, because it's going to be a very cold damage focused build, as you can tell, you certainly can. Whisperer Helm for better spell save DC, and Initiative is probably the best bet, and then you can just go with the Hood of the Weave for +2 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls. So that is probably the way to go, but I didn't want to use the entire weave set because that's lame. So let's just give Gale his cool hat back. As for the cloakies, whatever you want here, but the Cloak of the Weave is just simply the best. You get a +1 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls, and then you also get Absorb Elements, absorb elemental damage once per turn, or once per short rest, which is once per turn. Take half damage from the next elemental attack targeting you, and deal an additional 1d6 of that element on your next attack. And then for your clothing, we went with the Robe of the Weave. You get a +1 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls. Whenever the wearer succeeds a saving throw against a spell, they regain 1 to 6 hit points, and you get a +2 to your AC. But some early game options here. The Protecting Sparks will get you through a lot of the early game. It gives you a +1 bonus to spell save DC. And then you could also just use the Enraging Heart Garb, not obviously for the rage thing, but just for the extra +2 to con, get you a little bit more HP. Could be worth using if you want, but probably just better for the spell save DC stuff. For your gloves, I went with the Winter's Clutches because we are kind of leading into the cold theming here. When the wearer deals cold damage, they inflict 2 turns of Encrusted with Frost upon the targets. But if you're not using a shield, or you're not playing a race that gives shield proficiency, the Braces of Defense will be great here to just get the same effect basically. But all the other cool stuff shields give you. But if you need better AC, if you don't have shield proficiency, that's the way to go. The Gloves of Painful Striking will be quite good because you're bonking people whenever they come in range of you. Whenever the wearer deals damage with a weapon attack, the target receives a -1d4 penalty to saving throws against your next spell. So if you want to bonk someone as a reaction, they will, then be more susceptible to failing a roll against your next spell on your turn. Daredevil Gloves will always be quite good for a Battle Mage, and then, the Heractor Bracers for Telekinesis are always just fun as well. For your boots, I went with the good old Evasive Shoes for extra AC. But you don't have to if you don't want to. The Disintegrating Nightwalkers will always be good, and then the Hoarfrost Boots, so you don't fall prone on all of the icy terrain you will be making, is also a good option. For the necklace, I went with the Necklace of Elemental Augmentation. When one of your cantrips deals elemental damage, you add your spell casting modifier to the damage dealt, so your Ray of Frost will be doing a lot of extra damage. Other options, the Absolute's Talisman. If the wearer bears the Absolute's brand, they have disadvantage on death saving throws. That's not why you're using it. It's a just free way to get, your arcane ward stack. So what you can do is you can equip this, cast the aid on yourself, get your arcane ward stacks up to 4, and then you can just go ahead and unequip that, just re-equip whatever you want, and then you see you still have your arcane ward stack. So probably want to get in the habit of using that every day as one of your daily buffs. If you want to use something like the face semblance amulet to get advantage on intel or mental saving throws, can be quite good. If you want to use or if you want to take Warcaster on this build, you can get advantage on con saves. You'll have advantage on pretty much everything except strength and dex, which makes sense for a wizard. And then you're probably just going to want to keep the Spellcrux amulet on you because wizard. For the rings, I went with the Ring of Protection for extra AC. Use whatever here though. And then I also went with the Snowburst ring to further lean in to the cold theming. But other options, this could be a good Eversight ring character if you don't have dark vision. Ring of Free Action will be good. The Ring of Mental Inhibition. Anything you want to use here will work out quite well. As for weapons, we just went with the Hellrider longbow. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. +3 to initiative is quite good. For your main hand weapon, though, I went with Mark of Heshkir. It's just the best staff in the game. You get a +1 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls. So you've heard that one before. You get Arcane Battery. Alleviate the arcane burden of spellcasting with the power of this staff. Your next spell you cast will not cost a spell slot. So you can just get a free level 6 spell, essentially. And you also get Kareska's Favor, which will allow you to cast, invoke yourself or imbue yourself with elemental energy sourced from the Draconic Goddess Kareska. You can basically just get a boatload of free benefits from this. You get Flame of Wrath, which gives you resistance to fire damage, and free cast of Fireball and Wall of Fire. The cold one, which is probably what you'll be using most with this build, gives you Cone of Cold and Ice Storm, as well as resistance to cold damage. Lightning is probably the best offensive one, though, giving you Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. Thunder gives you Destructive Wave and Shatter. Unfortunately, just not the best. The Poison one, Cloud Kill and Ray of Sickness. Yep, that's yikes. And then the acidic one is Hunger of Hadar, which can be quite good, and Melf's Acid Arrow. That's actually pretty decent, but the main ones you're going to be using are the Bolts of Doom and the Frost of the Dark Winter. We'll go ahead and just show you what that looks like. Gives you resistance to ice, and then I believe, no, it actually doesn't do extra cold damage. I wish it did. But yeah, you get free cast of Ice Storm and Cone of Cold, which is pretty cool. And then for your other options, the Morning Frost will get pretty early in the game. It does do extra cold damage, so it's a slightly better melee option if you want to lean more into that. And when dealing cold damage, the Wielder deals an additional 1 cold damage, which is just extra damage. And then dealing cold damage with a spell possibly inflicts chilled upon the target, which makes them vulnerable to cold damage and resistance to fire damage. This is probably my more personal favorite option, just because I love this weapon. So I would probably use this. You'll be able to use it for a large majority of the game. This will definitely be your early game, like your Act 1 and Act 2 staff. But once you get to the city, you're probably going to switch out the Mark of Heshkir. But I love Morning Frost. You can also buff these with the Draconic or the Drake Glaive to get even more damage out of this. But I don't think you can actually double second. I don't think you can use cold damage. Okay, so you probably want to give it lightning just for the extra kick. But Staff of Arcane Blessing is just good to have. Mel's first staff for extra spell save DC is also good, and a +1 to attack rolls as well. And then the Spell Sparkler for lightning charge shenanigans if you want to do that. You get all of these very, very, very early on in the game. So pick your favorite to get you through the early portion. But I think the Morning Frost is probably the best, and it's the most fitting for what we're trying to do. But Kareska's Favor is just too good to pass up on. For the shield, I went with the Sentinel Shield. I think we have enough spell save DC, but if you want to use Catholic Shield, you can for even more. The +3 to initiative is probably nice to have. Adamantine Shield is also quite good, but you can also use a Shield of Devotion, which also gives you a level 3 aid, so you can just boom, up to 7 stacks of Arcane Ward, and then plop it right back on. A couple things I forgot to mention. The pretty much easiest way to get your Abjuration stacks up to 20 is just going to be after taking a long rest I just did. You automatically wake up with 10 stacks of Arcane Ward because of your level 10 feature. So what you're going to want to do is cast aid from your necklace and your shield at the start of the day. So there's boom, 12, boom, 15. Doesn't really matter, obviously. You will still get the you still get to keep those temp HP. I don't think you do. No, you don't. But you get your stacks up to 15, swap out to your actual items, and then your level 6 cast of whatchamacallit is going to get you up to 20 for the day. And that is your way of doing that. And then another thing that I forgot to mention is if you want your bonks to be as effective as possible, go ahead and pick yourself up some elixirs of giant strength. Obviously, early game, 21 strength will be insane, and then you can use the cloud giants once you get to the city. You can also just use the club of hill giant strength, the one that's at your strength of 19, if you just want to bonk. If you want to just lean more into the bonking of things, you can certainly do that. But yeah, if you want your bonks to be as effective as possible, go ahead and get yourself some better strength. And now that'll do it for the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of the build. If you think I can do better, if you think I can do worse, what do you think I screwed up, whatever, you know, criticism you guys have, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. Make sure you check out my Hogwarts Legacy Let's Play like I mentioned earlier. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.